very good morning or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are coming to the final episode of Creative Dialogue, and this morning or evening we have wonderful friends from 5 countries joining me, and then we are talking about creative leadership dialogue. To begin with, we'll just introduce our wonderful friends who are involved in the international project to say hello to all of you. And first of all, perhaps let's have our friend from Vietnam to say hello. Introduce yourself quickly.
Hello everybody, I'm Thanh. I'm from Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam.
Wonderful.
Right now I'm a choreographer. Yeah.
So I'll just move on quickly to Vincent. Vincent right now is early morning in the States. Hi Vincent.
Good morning, I'm Vincent Thomas. I'm in Towson, Maryland, the land of the Piscataway peoples.
Wonderful. We're going to move forward to Jose. Jose, with his beautiful partner, they are actually based in Lima, Peru. Morning, Jose.
Good morning. Hi everyone.
And you have a very beautiful interpreter for you. Would you like to say hello and introduce yourself too?
Hello, I'm Ursula. I'm Jose's partner, and since I know very much his work, I'm going to help with the translation and also with probably some comments. Thank you.
Ursula. And finally, we have our friend from Tokyo, Yoko. Yoko, please.
Yeah. Hello, I'm Yoko Koike. I'm Japanese and also dancer and choreographer.
Fantastic. This morning or evening is a lovely pleasure for me to close the entire festival with this wonderful dialogue. It has been 3 weeks long and lots of materials online. And of course, there are some live shows going on, workshops going on, performances going on in various sizes and various scales. And I'm very honored because at the end of the day, what we hope to achieve is to have residency projects in all dimensional manner. You know, so this is why today is very interesting for us to touch a topic which usually hardly been spoken or discussed for the artists, which I think is very important, which is creative leadership. So my friends here are all leaders, take wonderful, in terms of responsibility over the projects, over the people, organizing the show, organizing the funds. You can imagine how much work as leaders you have to take care of all the things just to make your work able to appear to your audience nicely. So I just want to ask quickly, number one is, as leader, what is your first priority that you look at? First thing that you have to think about when you make your international project. So maybe Yoko, maybe share with us, what is the first thing that you feel most important as a leader before you embark a project?
So I think the most important things to believe our members, because to believe what they want to make something, what they want to what they found it.
I see.
And so,
what about Vincent? What's the first thing you will think of as a leader when you want to cook your project?
It's a great question. I would say accessibility to a wider population or a wider audience. Accessibility is a key thing, and also how it connects to humanity.
Okay, so that's your concern about accessibility then, isn't it? So Tao, from Vietnamese point of view, very authentic arts and culture from a very distant as compared to the states of Peru, isn't it? So tell us, what is your first consideration when you make your international project?
Yes, first of all, I think the purpose of the dancer and the choreographer, the first thing I want to think about.
I see. So you're thinking about the magical relationship between the performers and the choreographer. And what about, say, the first thing that you in your mind?
Well, for me, it's a kind of a first step to creation and networking, creation opportunities for share knowledge. So it's the first step for a new networking.
I see. Now, based on my understanding about your projects, because it's so interesting, all of you have a very interesting, similar way of approach, because Jose, you have spent 3 years in working on projects, right? Thomas has been working with his collaborators for many, many years. And Yoko has been working on her project for 10 years, you know, and this is her new version, you know. And Thanh has been working on several works, and in fact, we picked and selected, and finally he decided to present this Dry River. So you can see the length of the time is so crucial, you know. So I want to ask, how do you maintain the relationship with your collaborators? You know, because I understand the longer you have with your dancers or your collaborators is so important. Like, I'm just blessed that I have dancers who has been with me for 20 years, you know, which is quite unusual. So I know the importance of very long, enduring relationship that build trust. So how you maintain, like Vincent, tell us, how did you maintain your poet, your other collaborators for such a long period of time?
Yeah, I think the how our relationships marinate in art over a long period of time is really important. And so this project is a new project. So it was important to also engage in collaborators that I've been working with for a long time, who understand a lot of the things about me and how I understand the way that they work too, and that how we can challenge each other to create fresh ideas and move forward with art.
Yes. And Yoko, your musician, I know the music composer has been with you for 10 years, you know, and she made changes to the music. So how did you create that excitement in your collaborations? You know, because it's so important as a leader, you know, that you have to be positive, you have to be earning the trust, you have to be, you know, showing them that, yes, this is the right path, join me. So how did you manage to move the people to work with you for 10 years?
So the important thing is to continue to think about the art, and also the art with him. And then so it's very difficult to explain about it.
So you're thinking about the continuity, your art to excite one another. I think because they witness your growth over time.
Yeah.
Progression. So they also want to follow, isn't it? So Jose, what about you? 3 years is not a short time, you know, and also so intense. Because when I was talking to his dancers, was like the work was so intense, you know, and was emotionally draining. And sometimes dancers would say, "Stop, I have enough," you know. Sometimes, you know, physically or your bruises, you know, that kind of thing. But how did you manage to keep them and continually motivate them?
Well, it's really difficult because the economic conditions are so hard for our relation, because all the people has other projects, other works. So in our case, I feel the most important is how we get each time more trust, more confianza,
So
trust.
he tries to work always in what I think everybody has told already, is they work about trusting, because you know, dancing in Peru is not a first economical thing for every dancer. Some dancers can make a living just from dancing, but most of us have to teach, or, you know, have moonlighting for something else in order to have enough money. So that's the main struggle. You can't focus only on
I can understand that it's a drive. Yes, Vincent, please.
Yes, and I appreciate that. And I was also going to say that it's also the curiosity of the subject matter that the collaborators have, because for me, they also bring in different lens on how to see the subject matter. So there's a curiosity about that as well. So that motivates them too.
You know, when I saw Thanh Hao's work last year in Vietnam in our exposition of Contemporary Dance Fiesta, I was very much amazed by how he curated a performance for 20 dancers with live music orchestra of another 15 people. You know, and then he managed his works in a very big, different multitude. And this is why I want to ask him, how did you assemble people? You know, because Vietnam's arts and culture is very different. I mean, in Singapore, it's very difficult for me to always assemble the team. You know what I mean? So I want to ask you, how did you manage? Because it seems like so easy, you know, the kind of understanding, the appreciation that people willing to come together. So tell us why, how did you manage?
I think when I decided to invite the dancer to come to join with me, the first they have to trust in me. They know who am I, and when I ask them if you want to join with me, I would explain my idea to them, and if they if they want to join, I will invite them. But I think first of all I will know. I will know very clearly about their style, the techniques, and the thinking. And when we have the same, I think it's very easy to invite them to join with me.
Yeah, after listening to the four of you in terms of sharing how you make things happen, it's clear enough that you need to earn trust. You need to be open to share what your plan or your aspiration. And I think it's also very important for you to bring them forward over time, isn't it? Now, to do all these things, of course, I'm sure you meet lots of challenges, right? You have lots of maybe setbacks or failures. I want to hear, what are your learning points in working on your projects? I'm sure you probably hit a wall, whether it's funding, hit a wall, you found the wrong artist, you know, or hit the wall, you find something not favorable, you know, not something that you want, but you just have to go through, because sometimes you just have to go through, you know what I mean? So I'm just curious, share with us, what probably are your learning points of all some of these challenges or setbacks? Yeah, Yoko, would you like to start with?
Okay, sorry, my English is not good, but I will try. Yeah. So the social is all the big change nowadays, and then so we have to think about how to the relationship with the social, and then so then. But in Japan, and very much hard to the dance, and then so we haven't we can't get the foundation, and also we don't have a job of the dance, and then so how to make a position of the dance work and with in the social work. So in the social, and so how to get the social matter with the dance piece, and also the my English, sorry.
You're explaining very well. I can understand, because now you're trying to make dance more versatile. You're trying to make dance work in the social context, especially now with the COVID, and make it happen. I mean, this is a very creative way, because I'm sure each country have to combat with the COVID-19 in the very different creative measures, isn't it? Yeah. So that right now maybe Thanh Hao is more fortunate because Vietnam has, I think, 0 or less, and now they can have shows completely without masks, right? Most of the shows are happening. You still see big gathering, right? So how was your experience now? But I do hear some difficulties over economy. Artists are still having lesser jobs in your side, isn't it? So what are the situation now in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh?
In Ho Chi Minh City right now, I think the situation is not too bad. We can make the show, and if everybody will be safe, we can make the show, and I think it's not too bad.
I see. So
we can make the show every night.
So you are the most fortunate one among all of us here. So Jose, I'm sure you have lots of challenges, right, in continuing working on your project. So give us some learning points that we can learn from your experience.
Well, I feel I have always learned to different areas, productions, social media, virtual spaces. So maybe in this moment, my principal focus is in how my work has an impact, has a good impact in my community. No, I think it's similar feel with Yoko. How is my best way for connect with my community, no, and international community actually.
Yeah, this is very important, and I'll come back to the community question soon. But I want Vincent perhaps to give us some learning points about the challenges you encounter before I go into the community.
Sure. And as I'm thinking about this, and with this new project, I haven't really seen a lot of challenges, but I will say that a challenge has been the distance between myself and the poet, because she's in California on the West Coast. But the virtual platform has brought a solution to that. So we've still been able to work. So, you know, for me, it's about how am I going to take these challenges and turn them into some type of success, or take the lemons and turn them into lemonade.
Fantastic. In fact, we are hearing a lot of positive outputs from this conversation, because a lot of time we're always talking about what can we do. You know, as artists, we're supposed to be creative, isn't it? So if we, as the most creative creatures among all the other professions, and we cannot have new solutions, then what is our real value, right? So my question now would be, what is the impact, or rather share with us about your community, the dance in your country, or rather within your city. What is the dance community, you know, look like right now? Because of course, like Vietnam, they're still having very vibrant in terms of shows, performances, you know, people can move in and out, some without masks, like very normal day, you know, before the COVID. But I want to ask is, how is
no, well, we have to wear a mask.
Oh, so you have to wear masks now. Okay, so that's for safety.
Yeah.
So I want to ask is, share with us about your community. How is your community, or rather, how is your work? You know, I mean, now we have done our so-called presentation online. Some have live, like Yoko had a live show, and also Thanh has a live show, you know, and then Peru was more on online, and then my Beijing friend have online for the film premiere. So everyone has the different ways of engaging your own community and the larger, wider international community, right? Now, I want you to give your feedback about how did you help to reach out to your community. This is important. What about you? What did you do to ensure that you reach out? Yeah. So I'm going to ask Vincent.
Yeah. So social media has been a really huge part of that, reaching out and staying connected, and also through my newsletter, which the next one will be coming out in a couple of days. But also, you know, the word of mouth as well. It's been really wonderful to be able to share this solo with friends and of VT Dance through social media. So I'm really thankful for that as a platform. But you know, things are challenging. I mean, we still have to dance in a mask. We can't be in theaters right now. So, you know, with those challenges, I think the dance community is trying to find ways to still do their art, to still be impactful in the community.
I see. What about Jose? I hope the online presentation did help to open up certain kind of messages to your audiences or some other people, you know? Because as organizer, we are very proud and very happy. You know, even the post, it may seems to be quiet online, because quiet is sometimes non-interactive, you know. But we can sense there's a real kind of reach, like Vincent's post. Just one post could have 5,000 people reach out. It's amazing, you know. So I think online is a multiplier effect. You know what I mean? Because sometimes we may think that, okay, we just put a post, but as the post is long, you'll realize the content is being repeated, and it may be happening that the content is being put somewhere that we do not know. You know what I mean? So it will reach out. So I'm just curious about Jose or even Yoko and Ha. How do you feel about your connection with your community?
Well, in our case, I feel this context, difficult context, open actually how say Thomas, more accessibility about the communication between dancers, between choreographers. In other years, not necessarily was a good communication between different agents of the dance sector or dance area. Now I feel most spaces for share our perspective, more spaces for dance training, not necessarily only technique dance. I feel our exchange has now management things, how is our social media or communication or publicity things. So they're more feeling a kind of community, a dance community in our country. So I think it's a new context, new challenge, but I think it's positive context, a new context. So, well, only see, not only how you say, solo nos queda ver, solo nos queda.
Yes, we have to see the results.
Yes.
I think what in short, people is talking more now, and we're reaching people in other cities in Peru. So in this sense, we're talking more, and we're about issues probably that were left out before.
Fantastic. This is a wonderful good news, isn't it? So Yoko, do you agree? Because Yoko's teammates came from different cities as well. You know, we had our talk last week regards to the creative collaboration, and also the other 4 members worked different hours, different city came together. So this is why I can sense there's a very strong community-ness within your way of working. Share with us a little bit, how do you feel your project have reached out, you know, in a certain way?
Nowadays in Japan, the COVID-19 the effect is more worse. Then so we can touch each other. We can touch each other with dancer and also the another artist. And then so this time we tried to the creation by the remote work, only remote work. And then so how to make a piece with only remote work, it's very, very, very difficult way, but it's very, I found something because the in the space, if the normal way we talk about something, then I move, and then so they can catch the atmosphere and they can catch a feeling. But this time I send the video only, and then they get the information from the video and also the talk. And we use the word very much, and then I think the language is the power to make the outline of the things, like a 3 dimension, and then so the then so we pull out the text of the creation theme from the text. Then so it's very new way
for you,
for us. And then so we understand the theme of the behind the theme, but the theme has so many things behind.
Yes, I understand. I think what's happening now is because of this, you are learning new ways of promoting your work, and then you also start to think about things that you never encountered is behind the system. You know, you start to put the system, how, because now it's no longer like last time we have a show, you have tickets, you know, and audience is very isolated. Now, when you do your show online, you have to look at the whole system of in terms of the IT system, technological aspects, to make it the whole raw experience for your audience. You see, so by hearing, you can sense, you know, that COVID does bring lots of positive ways despite challenges. It's just about how you view it and how you find new ways, and also it's about learning new things. I'm just curious about Thanh, because Thanh recently his work was very well noticed. Congratulations, give a very good review for his work. And also, if you happen to see his works, very different. I just want to ask, what about you? Because Vietnamese, based on my understanding, they work very quick. Like tonight, tomorrow they decide, okay, let's do a show tomorrow. Then tomorrow this thing is happening. It's a different kind of culture. The human behavior in that kind of team spirit is very strong. So I'm just curious about, do you think, is it very different from other countries, or you feel this is something very special about your way of working in Vietnam?
I really don't know about the situation in other countries, just like in Singapore or in Peru or in Japan. But I think that's in Ho Chi Minh City. Because we work very fast. We have a show daily, and maybe today we make the show and it will happen tomorrow. So we familiar with that rhythm, and that way we have to work very, very fast. And the dancer also, yeah.
So this is why sometimes I'm quite amazed, because this is why collectively we come together, because each of you represent a very different, unique culture and different types of way of expression, and of course how you manage your work is based on how the circumstances you have. So I just want to have a final question to you all is, you have completed your project already. I just want to ask, are you happy with your so-called deliveries? I mean, in terms of the outcome of your project so far, are you surprised? Share with the audience about what did you gain from this whole residency project, you know? So maybe I start with Yoko. Yeah, what did you feel the process? Because the process, to be honest with you, when I try to sum up the whole thing, you'll find it's amazing on my side. You know? What was it about? We had 6 premieres, 3 films, you know, 2 live shows. Can you imagine so many types of projects, including today, we have 11 dialogues. Could you imagine? And then we have 6 booklets, so much effort. And then for the posts, I think we have at least 50 posts, at least, you know? So sometimes I ask about all this because if we do not have COVID world, we just maybe have 6 shows in the theater and that's it. We won't possibly have a chance to talk. We won't possibly have a chance to think about what kind of images, the kind of, I will not use the word negotiation, but the kind of listening process. Very interesting. So I appreciate because I'm trying to understand is how rewarding the experience for all, because I feel we have gained a lot, to be honest, based on putting out so much content, so much dialogues, so much shows, so much output, many things that we wanted to do 3 months ago. We think that no, impossible. But everything was okay, on, then on. So I'm just very grateful. So I want to hear from you is, how do you feel about your entire project? You know, up to now, you know, do you feel you have fulfilled your idea about having the residency? Because each of you, your project is so different. That makes it so exciting for the festival. So I want to hear from you. Maybe we start from Jose. How did you, share with us about your experience?
Yes. Well, with this context, for me, well, I think it's a new creative context because now my team is in different parts of Latin America. Bogota, Ecuador, Quito, Brazil, Peru. Paraguay, actually in Peru, in other cities. So my new team, my new creation lab is around my region, my big area, you know. So from this new situation to creation is a new perspectives about the dance work, new perspective about the concepts with I start my creation dance. So it's a kind of nutrition.
Fantastic. So there's a kind of strong impetus to support your new direction or new projects is coming up. Fantastic.
Yes.
So this is important. It's about going on, isn't it? What about Vincent? How do you find this residency project? Has it brought you some kind of surprise?
It's been really fulfilling on so many levels, and unearthing and deepening the creative process and the ways that I have been working before, but it has opened up new ways to continue to work. So I've been rather enthused about art during this pandemic. I'm actually going back into the studio to do a second videotaping today of the Solo Village because of new ideas that keep emerging and having conversations with the videographer. So it's been really liberating in so many ways during the time when so many artists are feeling the weight of this pandemic and how the impact on their art and their practice. But I also know that as artists, we have the capacity to just blossom with ideas. And so the pandemic cannot be, it can't have a strong hold on us like this. We have to free ourselves and say, oh no, this is another idea. We learned this from improvisation. So it's been really wonderful. So thank you so much for this platform and this opportunity. And I look forward to connecting with each of these artists as well. And I see a mug that two of our friends have. And so now I'm thinking, can I get a mug from each of these countries and add that to my mugshot photos and solo? So
fantastic. I like the way you mentioned about liberating. I like the idea Jose talked about refresh in terms of the directions and find new ways of engaging. And I like the idea of actually finding new friends to creatively finding new angles and new collaborative. This is what the dialogue is about. And this is what the most I treasure. If you happen to know why I really push a lot in terms of creative dialogues for this, because I find at the end of the day, we have to talk. Most of the time when you see festival, it's always you see a show and clap and then, that's about it. But it's a shame that there's no transfer of knowledge, there's no sharing, there's no ground for us to build consensus. And especially when we talk about cultures, it's so rich, it's so in-depth, isn't it? So even I'm also very happy that I have the chance to work with you again and again, to see you again and again. And I think again and again is very important, right, Yoko? So each of you is not first time I met you. I've seen you, I've been to your country, I've seen you work, I've seen you dance, So if you happen to know why I take the trouble to make it very enriching, because I find you need to continue to build that foundation in terms of human relationship. And this is so much needed, especially for this new COVID world, where we can't touch people so often and we can't actually meet so often, but we can feel, we can talk, we can make ways to deepening our emotional contact, sensibility between people, even though now we're talking on the screen. You know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. So Yoko, share with us, because Yoko, she came from my festival, this festival in 2016. And we performed in Gwangju together in a festival. And we've been meeting her somewhere in South Korea, because South Korea to Seoul to Tokyo is about 2 hours only, right? Very short distance. So you see, so there's always close proximity. So I want Yoko to share with us, has any surprises that you want to share with us for your project this time? Anything that you think that we can learn from you?
Okay, I try to explain in English. Okay, so this time so many stage work stop in Japan, and then so we have to find another way to the performance, also some choreograph, and then so I think it's good idea to live streaming and online, and but sometimes online it's like just a show, like a movie, and then so it's not I can't feel the humanity, and so some another feeling, and then so it's very much important thing, the human feeling, and then so how to connect with the another culture people and another feeling with the online system, and then so we have to try to using the online system, but just the show is not good, I think. Then so how to find another way, then so the try now now we are trying. We are finding how to.
Yes, yes. I totally understand, and this is why it's a new challenge. I mean, there are so many festivals going on, there are so many dance platforms going on, right? And you realize most of the time is asking or inviting people to see show, whether it's live streaming or recorded version, but it's still on the screen. So how do you make an impact? How do you make just right for people to receive? So this is why the residency projects, I'm very proud of all of you. You know, it's just unfortunate the other two friends, because of time zone, they also performance, they cannot join us. But however, you will see that what is so exciting about your work is that it's not the end. You see, it's not a show, a product, and then finish. It's about continuous search for your voice, continue to find relevance of your work in this time. And more important is the connectivity in terms of human relations. And that makes me so happy. In fact, I'm just proud to tell you, even though our festival ended yesterday, right? But look, we're still having a dialogue. You see that? And then, to give you also an understanding what's happening, in fact, on Wednesday, we are going to launch the complete program booklet, the full documentation for this entire festival. Each of you have one nice program booklet of each, right? But we have not combined into one book. And then from there, when you open up, you have another layer of deepening your understanding of each of you in your context. And then the collaborations that you had, and also the videos that you gave us and how we incorporate into the book. And this is something like our report book, you know what I mean, that we have completed, we have graduated. But this is a very interesting way for me as a present to all of you to have a good memory so that we can bring this to the next step, or next height. And I'm very happy to work with you again to revisit and to do redocumentation, or whether to re-video the work or do live streaming. To us, this is not a concern, but the concern is, what have we learned after this festival? How does the residency supported you to open up your mind and also open up your heart and open up new friendship? You know, so this is very critical. So finally, I'm going to give each of you maybe 10 to 20 seconds to speak. All right? To speak clearly, what do you want to share with the audience, or how would you want to connect with the world dance community? All right? So each of you have about only 20 seconds to say a quick sentence for us to share our passion and art, and to close this Dancing Festival 2020 in a few very beautiful notes. So I'm going to start with maybe Thanh Hao. I'm going to start from you.
I just want to say, let's keep your health and don't worry, everything will be okay in the future.
Thomas, please. Vincent.
Yes. I will say and do liberating. Okay.
Yoko, share with us. What would you like the whole dance community, people, you know, because everyone can see us from the world. Share with us, what do you want to say to the dance community, international dance community?
So I hope to keep the dance is the good for the human, the important for the human, and then so please enjoy the dance in the future.
Fantastic. So finally, we have Jose from Peru to give us the final words to the audience. Jose, please.
Well, keep the calm and let's continue inspire us. Inspire like a Thomas. Let's continue move. Let's continue inspire us. Yes.
Fantastic. With that, we thank everyone, our international audience, our friends from the 6 countries, and beyond that, many friends who have joined us for this wonderful season here. Dancing Festival is very unusual. It started in 2004 biannually, and up to now it's the 9th edition. We look forward to 2022 to mark our 10th edition. And trust me, I believe, with these wonderful artists around, we're certainly able to expand our knowledge, expand our passion, and enrich more people around us, and share that arts has a true value in the society, in particular in this particular moment, which is so in need of arts in our life, in our daily lives. And with that, thank you very much, and I look forward to see all of you once again. Say bye-bye to our friends worldwide then. Bye!
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.